Let's talk about your newest release, Songs No One Will Hear. If you could hand this album to your younger self, what do you think he'd say?
He'd be very proud of me, I think. He'd be like, "Hey, I recognize this. This is, yeah, you heard that from Alice Cooper, right?" He would hear all the music that I stole, that kids nowadays won't hear. That's what I. No, I often think about that, and I guess he would be like, "Hey, you can sing after all." Because really, as a kid, I I was looking up to the Ronnie James Dios of this world, and of course, totally, I can't sing like that. I have a tiny little voice, but I guess he would be like, "Hey, you found your limitations, and you sound kind of cool as a singer." He would be surprised, I think, but I think he would like the album.
Where did the central idea for this record come from? Was there one seed, one idea that eventually bloomed into the album, or was it did it come in a completely different way?
Well, again, it started with the music, and I listened to the music, and it was so eclectic, even more eclectic than ever. And it had these very happy songs, and it had these very sad songs, and it had these huge epic songs and tiny little acoustic songs and parts that I was like, I'm gonna need a concept, that that fits with this. So it was a long think, like what concept fits with it. And suddenly I was like, what would people do if they knew they only had 5 months to live? What would they do with their lives? And I thought, whoa, that gives me a lot of options. Because some people might be like, hey, we have 5 months left, let's party. And other people would be like, oh my God, I don't want to live through this, I don't want to know about this, or so all these different emotions, because my music is always, and my lyrics are always about emotions. They gave me a lot of options in this concept.
Now, you said earlier that when you're doing this stuff, you only put out stuff that you are really excited about. Nevertheless, is there a song on this album that surprised you with how well it turned out, or took an took on some type of unexpected life during recording?
Well, with my previous solo album, Lost in a New Reel, I had this long song. I had a 12-minute song, an epic song, and it's my favorite song that I wrote ever. Um, and it was really a challenge for me on this album to make a song that equals that one, or maybe even better. So I think that song, which is called Our Final Song, that was a big challenge for me. And at some point I thought, well, the other one was 12 minutes. If it's, I make this 15 minutes, it will be 3 minutes better than the other one. But it like we discussed earlier, I had the beginning, and I suddenly saw the flow, and one idea merged into the next one. So yeah, I surprised myself with that song, I think.
You just released the single "We'll Never Know" with Floor Jansen, which I really love, and I'd encourage everyone to check out, even if prog rock isn't your thing. Tell us about the story of that song and what made Floor the right person to collaborate with on it.
Well, it's a very sad song, but there's also a little bit of hope in the chords, and it's weird. This usually doesn't happen to me, but this song was handed to me. Uh, I'm not talking spiritually again, but I was like, I didn't have any ideas, I didn't have any lyrics, and I just started singing that chorus. And every time at some point, I was like, "We'll never know," and okay, we'll never know. What would that mean? So that's how it started. And I usually don't work that way. I come up with the title much later, but it started with the title, and we'll never know. And you got a concept. Okay, people know they're gonna die. So yeah, if you expect a child, a little baby girl in this song, and she will never be born, and you'll never know what she would have been like. Um, I thought, well, is that too heavy? Is it too heavy, or is it manipulative? I was afraid of that, like, oh, it's so sad, it will make people cry, and then I sent it to Floor because she's a mummy herself and she's a very emotional person. I mean, I know her for so long now. I recorded her when she was 19 or something, she just started out. And I was like hoping, oh my God, Floor is the only one who can sing this song. Please, please let her do it, or I wouldn't even put it on the album. And she heard it, and luckily I explained the story to her. I thought I have to tell her what it's about. She might be like, "Hey, I'm a mother and I don't like this," but she loved it, and it really gave her extra inspiration to pour her heart out, basically.
Do you have a favorite musical idea, be it a chord progression, lyric, guitar lick, or something from this album that earlier we were talking, you went like this and your hair's and do you have particular songs on the album that do that, or do they all do that, or is there one that does it for you more than the rest?
Well, all the songs that didn't do it for me are not on the album. Let's put it that way.
That's a fabulous answer, by the way.
Yeah, I'm proud of that one.
So this album not being an Arion release, did it do anything different for you creatively? Maybe open a different door, bring out a different tool belt?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, me as a singer, I'm very limited, so I can't do over the top proggy songs, where I have Jorn Lando or Bruce Dickinson or Russell Allen in mind, that's just not going to work because I can't sing that way. And then again, I'm a Beatles fan, so the Beatles will seep in more into a solo album than in an Arion album. I think my style of singing is also, it's like I think it's more British than American. Um, so immediately you get this Beatles feel. The big difference, of course, is that like 80% of the vocals are mine, while on the last few Arion albums I wasn't even singing. So.
As of today, there are two songs available, We'll Never Know and Our Final Song. Is there a song that we haven't heard yet? Like, what's the next one to come out that you're excited to put out there? And is there and what's the story on that one?
Good question. Yes, we finished the clip today, actually. First, there's this really silly song on the album called Shagathon. Actually, I was surprised, the label Inside Out Music, they wanted that as a single. And Shagathon, you can guess what it's about. I mean, you can't avoid it, It's like people have 5 months to live. What are you going to do? Okay, people will prove not to be as monogamous as they think they are. And the world will turn into one big orgy. And I was like, what kind of video clip are you gonna make for that one? I have what are you gonna get away with? And I thought, no, that's gonna be too silly. And so we just finished the song God Conspiracy, which is of course a hot topic at the moment, with all the AI, with like not knowing what is real and what is not real anymore. So I thought it's one of my favorite songs too. It's a straight ahead rocker, which I also think is cool after the very atmospheric We'll Never Know, and the very sad We'll Never Know. We get God Conspiracy, which is a semi-humorous look at all the conspiracy theories.
What do you have coming up in the near future, which either our audience or fans would be really excited to hear about? Is it the release of these additional songs, or something else entirely?
Well, it's getting close. 1.5 months. I have Arion shows again, and as I told you, I'm not a performer really, and I have stage fright, so it's very scary for me. But We started doing this in 2015 after Arion already existed for 20 years without playing live. And it's a big success. So yeah, it's become a thing that we do every 2 years. And you know, we sell out 15,000 tickets in minutes. It's scary, and so yeah, we're working on that now. We're rehearsing, and we're. I mean, we've been working on it for a year, but there's still a lot to do with merch, with the whole the LED screen and the lasers and the lights and all that stuff. So we're working on that. So that will be the next big thing. And during those shows, we will also sell my new solo album. So that's cool that goes together. So that will be the next big thing.
Prog rock fans are a different breed of fans, and I mean, you have certain musicians where, okay, let's say Beyonce. You'll spend money to go see Beyonce once. Will you spend it to see her again? Maybe new, different album, something different. But prog rock fans will come see you every 2 years to hear the same album again.
It's amazing. They're so incredibly loyal.
Yeah,
it's amazing. And they won't. We play 6 times in 1 week, and some are even coming to more shows than one. You know, and they're coming from 65 countries. It's amazing. They could really like Japan or America or Russia or whatever. Oh, Russia is a bit harder right now, but I always feel guilty, basically, you know, for not coming to them and having them all come to us. But so we always make sure that the whole week will be special. So the whole town of Tilburg, where the venue is being taken over by Arion. You got like the cinema showing Arion movie. You got all the restaurants are making Arion burgers. There's Arion beer. There's clubs with Arion karaoke. So the whole week it's Arion week in Tilburg, you know, just to make it special for those people who come from so far away.
And I'll tell you, I mean, and that's true, because here in the States, I've probably seen Rush a dozen times. The uncle that I told you who introduced me to him,
yeah,
40, 50 times, my guess.
Whoa,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And travel from far and wide. I mean, I've traveled 8-10 hours to see Rush, but would I do it for, would I travel 8-10 hours to see, you know, some pop artist?
No, it's true.
So, what various social media platforms can our audience follow you and Arion on?
Well, mostly YouTube is really my thing. That's where I discover bands, and that's also where my clips are. I'm also a lot on Facebook and Instagram, of course, although it's all I'm too old for that. You know, it's getting a bit complex for me, but I know how Facebook works. So that's mainly my main platform. But the whole TikTok thing, I have no idea. No, I've given up on that.
I've got an 18-year-old son. I've got to get him, you know, to walk me through that stuff too. We're getting old.
Yeah, totally.
So, Arjen, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been, yeah, I enjoyed it, definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, Arjen Anthony Lucassen.